So, this is the FooRcast, but a very special, slightly different FooRcast for two reasons. The first reason is Phil Kemish is here, one of my best friends in the whole world. Hi, Phil.
Hi Gavin.
And secondly, we've let Aki on screen.
Wow.
So
I'm here.
we should have put some sort of warning on.
I voted for that, to be honest with you. I was like, Aki, get next to me.
He's made a couple of good comments in the early podcast, so he's been in the reserves.
I'll come off the bench.
He's come off the bench. He's got warmed up. He's actually wearing a football kit as well. I think he took that analogy a bit too seriously. But now, Aki, how are you feeling about your debut?
I'm excited, Gav. I'm excited.
You confident?
I'm very
You look like
confident.
a commentator as well, just the way you hold the mic.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the headphones on. John Motson.
You dressed in is that a referee's kit you're wearing?
No. You look like an ice hockey referee, Gav. I don't know what you're
Welcome to the Referee Podcast. So, Phil, explain to the people out there what it is you do.
That's a really hard
And
one.
also explain to me.
Also, can I just quickly say, I'm loving the flowery top.
Thanks.
I mean, you've outdone us completely.
I didn't get the black and white.
We've out-refed you.
Yeah, I didn't get the black and white menu. This is
We're not getting changed. I'm not wearing this. So everyone, this is before South Central.
That's
Festival.
like a substitutes kit.
We're about to play the biggest gig of our lives, and we thought we'd have a quick pod. Phil's come down for the gig.
Yes.
Phil's, as you're about to find out, is a very wise man, so we thought we'd get some wisdom before we gig. But I'm not going to wear this for the show. Jimmy is just about to turn up. This is Jimmy top. Oh, styled by Jimmy.
Jimmy's a very good stylist.
So Jimmy's going to tell me what to wear. Oh, so I'm waiting that. I don't know. It could be a dress. It could be a referee's kit.
We'll get to the story. So me and Gav go back probably like 15 years. So I've been behind the scenes in terms of like we've done these kind of get ready for a gig since we were going out and performing to 3 people.
Yeah.
And Gav tried to teach me to DJ, which I regret that I never learned. Do you remember? 90 Degrees. You tried to teach me to DJ because you said I can't be the only DJ. All you do is drink.
Yeah.
And you were like, I've got to work. This is not fair.
Phil was very good at drinking though. To be fair. He taught me how to drink. I taught him how to DJ.
We were promoters, so like I think it's incredible that like 15 years later we get to sit before a gig. And you're about to go out to, I don't know how many thousand people. How many people is it?
It's 15 to 20, I think that's the count, somewhere in between that.
So that's an incredible journey. And I've got to see like most of the steps. I think most of the steps I've been in somewhat capacity around.
Well, you were there for the start of FooR, which I definitely want to get into because we need to, we're all about to start, well, Aki's doing solo stuff, I'm doing solo stuff, so we need to remember what we did at the start of there because it went well. But thinking back to 90 Degrees, we're playing now. It's Sean Paul, Example, then us, then John Newman, then Craig David. With the exception of John Newman, we probably were playing those records in 90 Degrees while we did. Yeah. Aki, you would like
definitely, yeah.
We've been around playing records from all of those people.
100%.
Sean Paul was like the big, like as a DJ, he ruled like that 50 Cent time, wasn't it? Like Give Me the Light was like that whole period, and now we're playing like after he's warming up for us.
It's crazy.
he's warming up.
He's raising the temperature before you come up.
Hey. He's going to get busy before we go on. Someone sent me a message today saying I can't wait to get busy for 7 days.
Oh,
that. My friend is.
No, it's an incredible line. I think, like I said, from like we're sat in Southampton, which is a town that we all grew up in. So I think like part of this podcast, is about, I reckon, how you get from the stage of being from Southampton, a local town, into being able to play a stage in near your local town, which is on that scale.
Yeah, and also another conversation is the guy putting it on is a promoter that's probably booking me to do those. Luke Betts, thank you, Luke, for today. I'll tell you some stories about that later on, but. Well, I met Luke at a student gig with Ryan Keary, who owns Switch and his new thing, Dockyard Festival, coming to Soundclash. And I was thinking this today because Luke always he saw me DJing Salou, and from the first time we DJed, he sort of like, you need to be bigger, you need to be doing bigger stages. And now I'm playing the biggest stage, which actually is his stage, which is the one. Obviously, other people say it, but he was like really insistent, like you need to be doing bigger stages.
How many years ago was that? He was a student promoter, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Ryan.
So 2008.
Yeah.
So it's about 10 years ago.
That's the first lesson. If anyone's listening to a podcast, is that we've all been doing this for 15 years. I mean, you probably longer, but like Ryan and all those guys as promoters were student promoters, and now they're promoting festivals and their own clubs. And we all started on playing club nights.
Yeah.
So I think if anyone's starting, you can't get to a festival stage really unless you're doing the small stuff. I think a lot of people always come to me and I go, well, how do I get onto the big stage? How do I skip that shit? You can't skip that shit. Like there's no fast track.
There's no shortcuts in music.
Shortcuts.
Not in music. I think unless you do TV, but even still, like, that's not even I don't think that's going to be a route anymore for much longer.
It's not given, is it?
Phil was on the X Factor.
Yes.
That's what's gonna come out.
You would have got away with that. If you didn't mention it, he was like, am I going to mention it?
Well, no, but I'd done 8 years before X Factor. So 8 years in the band before we went on TV.
Oh, yeah,
and then we did another 8 years in the band after the TV. So that was 16 years before I'd even started in the music industry. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like behind the scenes. So I think, like I said, there's no short track. I think social media gives you a platform in order to kind of fast track it. I definitely think it could be done faster than 8 years, 10 years. I mean, you've leveraged social media since it came out. Like we were the first generation. Let's be honest. We were the first generation of kids. We're the later millennial, but we are the first generation of kids to grow up with a mobile phone, and the first generation of people to be able to leverage social media. Because I got my first phone at 15. You were probably around the same age.
Yeah. It's college, 15, 16.
16. So we were the first generation to be able to use MySpace, Facebook, Twitter to basically build an audience. Before that, I mean, I don't even know. It must have been even harder.
Well, this leads on to what we were talking about before. We talked about what questions to ask.
Yeah.
And we're doing obviously Tyrone and Wolves' EP at the moment, which is very much on the nose for what's popular at the moment, which is let's say urban music to blanket it. It's not the best term, but they're across the board. But it's kids from 13 to 22, 23. So it's definitely a massive under 18s market it's through social media, the videos, in dance music for FooR or any of the stuff we have coming on. Music videos aren't even really in our plan. Think of them we think, if we do one, like I want to have the idea, but for any artist like that, these drill artists, all these different subgenre, like the video is key, and it goes around kids and it flies around. And we just did the Nando's meetup for our band, and the kids, so other kids, because obviously it's for festival tickets, but their kids find out and turn up at So we're doing their headline show again. It's all based around under 18s. So as we come up to the launch of my solo thing and Aki's, which is, and John's, all music it's not for that market. It's at least, it's not. Some of the music will appeal, but essentially, we're in our 30s. Yeah, all of us. We're making music. A lot of it that references music from our 20s. I think most people look back at the music when they're growing up. As I've already said, we can't do music videos. Well, we can do music videos, but there's no GRM for dance music. You put a video out, it's going to put it to the people you see anyway. So really, it's a waste of money. So what we were talking about earlier is, if you're an artist that isn't in the demographic, that essentially is the demographic that makes artists 13 to 22, as I see it. But we're 25 to 35, I'd say. Yeah. How do you do it nowadays? What would you do?
I mean, the market's still massive. There's still millions of people who are 25 to 35. I think the difference fundamentally is the music consumption changes as you get older. I think when you're kind of younger, and maybe this is just my assumption, but music is such an ingrained part of your life because you're going out more. Yeah. I think what you find as you get older, and let's just talk about generally about the market, and then we'll try and figure out how we get into the people.
Okay, yeah.
So let's say 13 and 25, your life revolves around probably Friday and Saturday night. You might be a student, you'll be going out 3 or 4 times a week like we were. So there's a lot more chance to get to hear new music, to be told about new music. I think as you get older, where do you discover your new music now?
Yeah, where do you at? Where do you at?
This is the conversation. As the right age group, to talk about, we are the audience right now. Where do you discover?
And especially you, because Aki, you do the playlists.
Yeah, I mean, Spotify playlists are key. Yeah. I mean, they categorise like rap, dance music. So, and they just literally put 100 of the best top songs at the time.
So you're discovering that in the music.
Yeah, I mean, like my parents use Spotify, and that's how they discover music, is through playlists.
Spotify is primarily a discovering tool, isn't it? I suppose that's the main function of it now, I think. Yeah. And they're making it easier and easier for artists to pitch the playlist themselves and broadening it all the time. So, but what you're
clever, isn't it?
But they're even tying in music videos now with the songs on Spotify.
Yeah, I mean they're a content machine, so their whole investment now is to go around how do we create content around the music. So I think there's a great advantage, and no, obviously what they want to do, they're in competition. Spotify, let's talk about them with Apple, with everybody.
Yeah.
So they have to. They're looking for things like you guys to go. We can onboard 25 to 35-year-olds who don't mind paying for a family membership. They'll pay 19 quid, not 9 quid. So there is an opportunity. I think like
definitely
when we look at like trying to figure out a problem for a brand. So obviously I work a lot in marketing now, so that's kind of where I've been at for the last 5-10 years. But a lot of music and brand partnerships. It's always about understanding the audience first. And I think you've had a really amazing 5 or 6 years working on FooR, discovering a load of different learnings which you can now give away.
Yeah.
You said you've learned a lot, I think, about maybe marketing music to Gen Z, especially through Warbs and Tyrone, because they're probably a different mindset. When I see Tyrone, like I understand what he's doing. He's constantly on social.
Yeah.
Like I don't think many 35-year-olds or 30-year-olds, if you're trying to appeal to that demographic, are going to be that
as
on
active.
social.
Yeah.
So I think you need to understand where does your audience live? First question, like where are the people that you want to connect with? Are they now on Facebook? They're not on TikTok. So what I'm saying is,
I don't know what TikTok is.
So I'm saying if you're a young artist, the fastest growing social network right now is TikTok. It's a music platform.
Oh, really?
So it's a music platform where you basically put up clips of music and you either mime or you do like a video to it, and the music license are free. So it's really beneficial for music artists.
Wow.
I went to India. They're gaining 10 million people a week. It's huge. So like, if I was a music artist now, I'd be going, that's the platform for me. It's a music-based platform where other people can be creative around my music, because then it's going to travel. So I think the harder thing gets, as you get older, where do you discover music, and then how do you interact with it? Like, I probably still listen to the songs I listened to when I was 25. This is the problem. Like,
I've been listening to Oasis, the first album,
Oasis.
as I get ready for it. Only because I wanted to be Liam Gallagher. When I get through a big gig, Liam Gallagher was the person, obviously Michael Jackson, like all these people, like, I love their music, but Liam Gallagher was the first person I tried to dress like, have my hair like, tried to walk like that's the stage thing, the hand behind the thing with the mic like that. Like, so I've never done it before actually, but I was thinking like, this is like, obviously he would hate my music, I imagine, and there's no thing, but I was thinking like, what am I going to listen to before these gigs? I'm getting ready. I think that's it. That's the album. I used to have a loft extension, and there was like a wooden stand thing, and there was like a wooden ball at the top which looked like a microphone, and I used to stand like that on the thing and to go, this is, and I've got a bit of something, but going back, I still listen to the music.
But what you're saying is like,
my playlist, there he is. Hi, Sinks. My playlist of music that I like at the moment, it's got 9 songs in it. Yeah, that's similar. It. Do you want to come in, Sinks? Oh yeah, come. Everyone, say hello to, which camera should you say hello to, Jack? Say hello to all of them.
This is Jimmy.
This is Jimmy.
Jimmy who dressed me.
He's dressed Phil. He's going to dress me. I look forward. He's brought a beer. Watch the magnum there. He's brought a beer for Phil and Aki. I guess if Aki.
Lovely.
Thank you, mate.
Phil, I was going to say, do you think radio still has an influence on people our age of what we listen to? The radio.
The radio.
I mean, when we were younger, we listened to the radio a lot to hear new music, etc. But do you think people our age still listen to?
I still think it has an impact. Like, people always discount radio, but actually, like, the radio is influenced by playlists. Yeah. So radio people are going in now listening to what's on Spotify, what's popping on Spotify.
Okay,
So I think there's like a trickle up. You can't really get radio unless you got Spotify. You know this because when you went to the radio, they're going, how many plays did you have last week?
Right.
So the problem is, radio's still great because it's mass market.
Of course.
You know, your Mildred in Middlesbrough, I always use this example, but like, is listening to the radio at her work. She listens to the radio as she goes home. Yeah. It's a massive influence, but I think as you get older, like, it gets harder and harder because you're stuck in your ways, like in anything in life.
Of course.
Music. Past 27, it's very hard to change your habits.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Pre-programmed as a human. I think that kind of depends on music as well. I don't know how many new artists I listen to a year. Maybe 3 or 4. Not as many as I definitely used to. So I think it does get harder. But it's not saying that there isn't a market. There's millions and millions of people who are our age listen to music. So.
Well, I think when I asked the question, when I first started thinking about it, because the music that I want to do down the line is just not club music. The music I'm doing in the lead up to that is club music, so I didn't have this problem. But what I was thinking of when I first, because I was just making this music just that's nice to listen to. Because as you said, people go out in that 2018 to 25. So we can hit club record. That's how we broke I'm Sorry, was the clubs and radio.
Yeah.
And I think you could still do that now. I think, as you say, radio is still a tool, and clubs are still a tool, but if you've got a record that isn't in a club environment and it's not aimed at kids, like a really nice soul record, or like Cam, for example, that like how like obviously Spotify players aside, like that's where I sort of draw a blank.
Well, there's artists like Jordan Rakai. There's like those guys who have worked for 10 years. They've been producers and they're selling out concerts now. But again, it's that thing of they've built an audience around almost like a niche, and then that's snowballed and gone. It's just taken years. And I think even for what you've done, like you've now gone probably how many versions of Gavin? Like look as an artist, you probably look back at 15, 20 years, there's lots of different versions of an artist.
Lots of different DJ names as well.
Lots of different G-Dot was when I
knew you'd laugh at that, thinks you scumbag.
G-Dot when I first met you.
G-Funk.
FooRcast Warriors.
Oh yeah, that's me and Aki,
And each of them, I know, when I look back now, each of them probably had a sound. Do you know what I mean? In a way, there's certain similar things that kept, but there's been differences. Like G-Dot for me was like this R&B guy, and like
definitely,
bar.
yeah.
So I think
that was the other thing. So going back to the Luke Betts thing about him saying you need to be on bigger stages and how you DJ. He said that because we're doing like an R&B night, and I play a Kings of Leon record and then mix a drum and bass. I don't know if there's drum and bass record, but mix of it. And he was like, what have you just done? Like, what have you just done there? And then when we DJ later, people come up to me and go, because it's kids now who are used to being. I've come from Jazzy Jeff and Rodigan, like selectors, Andy CEZ for technical ability, but they're like selectors. I saw Rodigan DJ once, and it's literally like a lecture. We were talking about this the other day. It's literally like in 1973, this record come out, and but you're listening, going, yeah, go on.
You're really intrigued, aren't you? You want to hear more.
And he's like telling me the story of, and I'm listening. When that DJ set changed the way I think about everything. But these kids come up to me at the end and go, "I love your DJing. You just play anything. You play mental stuff." And I was like, no, that's DJing. That's what DJing is. Like, you don't play. And sometimes you do these sets. So we're on quite late today, but it's annoying in our genre. But sometimes you do a festival where it's all the people your genre, and you're late. You're like, they're going to have played, heard every record 6 times. If you're on at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're going. They hear this record, done, not again. I am going. So. But that's part of our success is I will find these records at different speeds that people know that appeal. And tonight we're in between Sean Paul example, John Newman, Craig David. We're wedging between that. They're household names.
Yeah.
John Newman's song, like my mum knows who these people are.
Yeah.
They must look at us and go, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know who these guys are. We'll give them a go. So we've had to think how a DJ, like, I've got to get a record in to keep the people that don't know us engaged every time. Obviously, there's energy, there's a whole performance. And that's what he's talking about. That's implanted in me, like how that's not going anywhere. That's
years' experience, isn't it? You're drawing on those years of experience where you sit there and the club would die, and you go, "I need a record that's going to bring it back." And like, there wasn't many DJs, I don't think, in the country that would be able to sit in a lineup of that magnitude and be able to sit and go, "I'm cool with it." Like, it's daunting. Like when I look at that lineup, and like you do say, if I send that to anybody who maybe wouldn't know from South Coast or not know you, they'd go John Newman, Craig David, FooR. So it's an incredible achievement. One and two, it's daunting. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see how that comes together. I know you've done it. I know you're going to pull it off, but it is an incredible.
But we knew it for a while. But when you saw it written down in the Times,
it's different when you see it written down. You're like, oh,
hang on a minute. That is.
But I think what you've done with FooR, and I think especially what we've talked about, like a music brand is still a brand. Like, take away the music, what you're creating for somebody is an experience. I think anyone that's seen a FooR show, and I've seen quite a few of them, have gone, wow. Like the energy, the impact, the music, the fact of using old tracks and bringing them back, and tracks that like these kids don't even know, but they're going, oh, this is amazing, Rhythm of the Night, what is this? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like you're giving new life to things that I think the people that are old in the crowd are appealing to, and the new fans are coming through. And it'd be really interesting to get your demographics up, actually. We should do this, like, on Instagram for FooR, like, what are the splits? Like, what are the splits of audience? Because you really need to understand that, and like, if you're going to grow that brand, or even if you're going into your own brand, who do you want to appeal to? Because it's impossible to do. And I think if you look at a good example of this, like Marshmello, let's just take him, probably one of the biggest DJs in the world right now, hasn't been around for ages, but what he did know, he went, I'm going to do music for this audience, which is 13 to 22, let's just say 25 maybe, and he went, where do they live? or they don't live on like, you know, the normal channels as much. So I'm going to basically go to Fortnite. I'm going to go to where they play their games every single day. And I'm a gamer, and I'm going to use the gamer community to break me as an artist. And he went to the gamer community and he gave tracks to all the big gamers. He said, use them. Have them. They played them in their songs. He went and gamed with them.
Yeah.
Then he went and did the biggest gig ever in the cyber digital space and had 10 million people watch him live streamed in a Fortnite arena. Whoa. 32 million people have now watched that as a stream, and he's the biggest DJ in the world. And when you take that, strip that back, he's very clever. Him and his manager, that's not like they didn't stumble upon that. They understood that as gamers, this market is a massive, huge market of people who sit there playing games for 7 hours a day listening to music. You can get into them. You can penetrate that. And then he went to India and worked with the biggest Indian artist that no one ever even heard of. But in India now he's huge because he went, who's the biggest thing in India? I want to get into the Indian market where it's 100 million people, not 10 million people. Like, we're a small market. And
yeah.
So what you're saying, well, or what he's saying, what you're saying, he's saying,
yeah,
is basically, we've got to find this in the last sort of 2 years. It's been about, we're doing what suits us and what's best for us, and not finding like, oh, you're an A&R, you're this and the. Basically, it's breaking out the box is the thing to do now, whatever your box may be, even if you're running a label or you're a manager and stuff, because obviously they did a big billboard as well, didn't they? Outside of Coachella, like
that was how they kicked it off.
Coachella crowd almost.
Yeah, almost mocking the Coachella crowd, and they also created the character. They knew that, like, he was he's a producer, isn't he? What's his name? The actual Marshmallow guy. He's a big producer. He was a producer in his own right before.
I can't remember. I couldn't find his name.
Yeah, he's a big producer. So him and his managers got together and said it's easier to create a character. And if you look at their content, they do cooking content. So on YouTube, it's cooking with Marshmallow, and they'll get like an act over from Thailand, and they'll make a Thai meal. But the content appeals. It's not music content. But they're creating this brand which everyone kind of.
But I'm obsessed now with like Snoop Dogg is a character in a sense. Like that's where it come from. Michael Jackson was. They're like, you know, you can. Snoop Dogg, I think, is the best example. Maybe the best example. Like, you know him anywhere in the world. Like, he must be one of the most famous. Not from his music, just because how he looks, the things, the marketing, all the things he's done over the years. So I'm obsessed with creating like. The character is as important.
But he knew who his first audience was. Like, like he was very natural to him, and I'm sure the guys at Marshmallow, they knew where their first audience is. I think people sometimes go like, and we do this at marketing. We go like, who are we going to appeal to? Whether it's a clothing brand, whether it's a music brand, and like, I think right now in the where we are at in life in social media is that you should choose an audience which is really small. Like, don't try and go everything to everyone, because it's impossible. You're going to fail. Like, you must have this from music brands. Jimmy works in fashion. Actually, just own a really specific type of customer who could be your first customer. And I always say this when you do this I'm doing a new startup, and that's the hardest thing. Who is your ideal first customer? And you probably know that as FooR now. You probably have a kind of an idea of who your 10% of customers are. There's this really interesting fact, which is only 13% of customers are loyal. So that means that really, if you're in building brands or building music brands, you should forget the rest of the motherfuckers, because they're gonna drop you out straight away for somebody else. When somebody else comes along, they'll forget FooR, but there'll be 13% of people who will go to Nando's with you, who will tell a friend to buy a record. Like, those are the people that you need to concentrate on. And if you can find those people, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. So as we said when we talked about like. Thinking back what we did with FooR, because we started very local based, like Southampton based. The video was in Southampton. There are people from Southampton in it. We gave it to Southampton we spread it around, and we went to Southampton outwards. I think when the video come out, the video did well, like 50,000-60,000 views in the first week, was it?
Yeah, roughly that.
Like the Daily Echo was, the local paper was probably the biggest. We did so much. You remember, like we pulled in every favour. Like people from Hollyoaks tweeting it. Like we literally went to town on it.
Yeah.
But the Daily Echo was the best. I think 27,000 come that day
it's crazy.
Of the Daily Echo from that one day, from all this thing, because it's centralised its thing. You can see the things they know. There's familiarity. It's
your heartland, isn't it?
Yeah.
From an artist point of view, if you can't win over your hometown, you're going to be really hard pushed. Like if it's a music artist, but even a brand, a fashion brand, really they have a heartland somewhere. They would have started somewhere, and a story would come from somewhere.
But we I think, as much as. I'm not saying this is the best idea, but I think I always draw to it is for the first FooR record, I'm Sorry, I knew my friends were going to love this. I can't wait to play this to my friends. And my stuff, well, I played it to you when we were at your house.
Yeah.
I played it to you, like, I thought they're going to like this. Like, I know they're going to like this record. Yeah. So I think that my friends are like the foundation. Now, like,
that's a good first step.
I think that's what everyone's. But that's be my advice to new artists would be is your inner circle.
Yeah.
But you got to make the music you like.
If you're building a product, for any product, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, if you don't create a brand that you like or it's for you, like, then you're basically lost it, because you're going to wake up in 2 months and go, oh, this is not fun anymore. I'm not passionate about it, because you're not making music for you.
Well, now
is that what happened with FooR to a certain example? Do you think you're not making music that you?
Well, FooR now we make music that I know is going to be good live. That I love to DJ live. Yeah. Not that I love to listen to what my friends will like.
Yeah.
I'm sure. There's records now you hear, you go, it's a million miles away from I'm Sorry or what I thought FooR was going to be. Yeah. And that's why we're doing the solo thing, not because I hate Aki. I mean,
you do,
but because I want to go. FooR, I always thought FooR was going to go in this direction, and it hasn't. It's gone like I want to DJ FooR, and they always say, "Oh, why don't you, when you do, what happens if you get solo gigs?" I was like, I don't want solo gigs. I want to DJ. This is live. FooR's a live act now, because that's what we've made it. We talked about bringing the people. We've always been good live and the energy. We've made it that way, and now it's not a bad thing. But I always think the music we make. Why does we go back to these old records within the night? Everybody's, because I always think this is gonna. Sorry, this is gonna. I don't know why I'm apologising. It's mine, and I can swear on this, but I don't know what. But I always think. This is going to bang live. When I hear it, this is going to kill it. Yeah. Which is fine. But when that's not what I want to listen to at home. Yeah. But when I DJ, it's what I want. So there's two. People always say you're a DJ first or a producer first, and I was always a DJ first. But as it's gone on and got older, now I think it's definitely, even if not a producer first, like I want to go in and like make the best music that I want to listen to,
and also see the music that you work with other people. So the collaboration projects and the people you make music with, you want to get the best out of them, because you've learned a lot.
100%.
You can sit in the studio and go, Tyrone Warbs, this is how it should be, because you can see it from a live point of view. Like I said, you can't buy the experience, and that's what I'm saying. You're at an advantage. No matter whether we're 35 or you're not 13. People and people might go, I'm not 13 anymore. I can't be on Snapchat every single day. I don't have the school friends, and I'm not going to college gigs. But you got 20 years on those kids, as experience-wise. And I think that's still really vital in the music industry and any industry. It's just how and I think you're doing the right thing. Like, you understand it because you're working with younger people as well. So you have this spectrum where you're looking and working with people who have audiences that, what was the girl that you just talked about?
Maddie V, yeah.
Maddie V, you're picking up that, cool, I work with that. That's how I'm understanding there's an audience there that I can learn from. And that's really clever, because a lot of people would just stay, there's a lot of bedroom producers that would stay in one lane and just do the easy thing. And what you're trying to do is, fucking hard. You're starting a label, you're signing loads of these acts, and you're doing your own acts. It's like incredible. But I'm saying that's you're doing the right things. It's just how much scale can you get by doing everything? Because only one of you, two of you. That's the only thing I worry about when I look at businesses like this. Like, music is the most scalable thing in the world, because you can have one record that 1 billion people listen to. But it's also the hardest industry in the world, because there's so many people trying to do the same thing, and the amount of pure content that you get out every day. Like, there's a new record out every day, or every Friday there's a new playlist.
Yeah, it's like, is it 40,000 records get uploaded to Spotify every day?
Have you found that the time that we've been in the music industry, or working in the music, and have you seen the volume shift? Can you feel that pure thing of there's so much more noise? Yeah,
I think we find that maybe not necessarily music, but certainly when it's 5 years ago we did the I'm Sorry video, first FooR video we talked about. That felt like people from Southampton are doing a music video. Have you seen this? Yeah. Now there's probably about 2 or 3 videos from Southampton, even on GRM or or whatever, a week. Like, it's so you can do a video on your phone now. Yeah. If you wanted to. So I think it's definitely easier to create the perception of you're doing the thing, where before it was like, oh wow, these guys are doing this and they're on this, and now it's a bit like, oh right, yeah, done a music video, yeah.
Well, I think that's the hardest thing about being an artist. You've got to constantly reinvent yourself. Like, we talk about your reinvention. We're talking about from G. to FooR, now to Gavin FooR. Like, we're talking about 5 or 6 chapters. And that's what a music artist has to do. There's no music artist out there that hasn't been around for 15 years. There's not many of them that hasn't reinvented themselves. You say Justin comes out, it's a new thing.
Yeah.
You have to do that. There's no way you can stay the same character.
Well, yeah, look at Kanye West. It's every album is a completely different sound, isn't it? Like he's the king of it, I guess.
But I really like projects now that are kind of like, projects which are sound based and visual based. Like, I like the creativity that music can do now. It's a lot different than it used to be. Like,
you find there's stories behind projects now, isn't there? Like the Jay-Z, the 4/4 thing was like.
Little Dicky is my favorite kind of like at the moment example of a rapper who's just been able to create amazing music videos and amazingly talented.
Is that like the Chris Brown, when he woke up in Chris Brown's body? Is that
yeah, have you seen Hello Talking?
No.
So if you want to look at 2 examples right now of music artists who are doing it on a level that I don't think anyone else is, Marshmello, Little Dicky, are doing the best 2 jobs. Not saying musically, but like brand building wise. His Earth song just came, the song called Earth with everybody in it, Justin Bieber. He did it as an animation. It blew. He released it on World Earth Day.
Oh, Childish Gambino is...
Childish Gambino, not yet. But there's a few artists really pushing the boundaries, and I think that's the fucking opportunity now. Like, we didn't have that. Like 15, we didn't have like free camera setups and be able to. You can do a lot of this stuff now. Like, he did it on a really bedroom level.
Yeah.
But he used comedy and he used other things to bring it in. It wasn't just I'm going to be a rapper, but it was I'm going to tell stories really cleverly and almost take the piss out of myself.
Well, I think, as you say, there's layers to it of what you have to do, and whatever those layers are. Childish Gambino is almost moving different to everyone else. He moves different, like
a
bit. Some might say camp.
Yeah. Did you watch the video? Him and Rihanna, the
film.
The film.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
He moves it like you. I watched that thing, and I didn't take much on the story, but I just watched it thinking, God, this guy's a genius. Like. Yeah. Just all like if he could break into the songs, it's like a musical. Like, you just think this guy's incredible. Like, that's all I thought. Like every time I watch him, every video, everything, you just think this guy's incredible. I don't even know if I like his music. I just think
what's hard with a DJ. Maybe this is like a question maybe you can answer. Is like, how do you put DJs don't seem to have it's hard to get the personality across as much. I'm not sure. Like Calvin Harris, I don't really know what his personality is like. Jack Jones, I don't really know what the personality is, but you've got a big personality, and like it's weird because I use like Marshmello example, but you seem to he's funny, but he's funny without even speaking. So it's really strange. Like, how do you get that personality? Well, that's a winner, isn't it? Like,
that Fisher is the best. Have you seen the Fisher, the Australian guy, which I've just realised I look like? Have you seen my Instagram story, Jim?
He does actually look Fisher.
I've lost some weight, and my beard's been a little bit different, and I've turned into him. But he is like, he's Australian, like. I don't know, is brash the word? Is it what is he? He's just like loud, like swears, calls people.
Yeah, like when he's at a party, you know he's there. He's one of those kind of people.
He sort of said cunts on the Grammy red carpet, didn't he? But he said country music singers.
Yeah.
But the way he said it, like live on a American breakfast show. Wow. Looking forward to seeing what those country singers are doing. Like, he's like, wears glasses, like he's dancing like real thing. He's like humping the speakers. He's like,
yeah, it's something that people are going, wow, they're either going to love it or hate it. But
people love him. His videos, he's like stoned ordering hot dogs and the thing.
People love him.
He is like the first rock star. Obviously, DJs have been rock stars, but like publicly, like, look, I am off my head, eating hot dogs, humping speakers, calling people. You know, what I mean, he's like.
But he's created a character again.
Yeah,
I think
he's a character.
He's also a very good DJ as well, so I've seen him live.
Well, Little Dicky's an amazing rapper.
Yeah,
but
they're all good. All these people are good.
These all people are good.
They just think about it from a different point of view. How are people going to have a conversation about you? And I think right now, and that's what you've got to think. If you're a new artist, who are your audience and who is the conversation you want to have? And sometimes you have to create that conversation.
Yeah, I think the takeaways are that you have to figure out who you want your audience to be, who your audience is, and so start off small. And then they say that 13% stat is
30%. That's all you got to concentrate.
It's a valuable stat.
When we had gets, just really quickly, let's say we had 10,000 fans. We knew that we could sell 1,000 tickets because that ratio always worked out, and it did. If you got 10,000 fans, you'll get 1,000 tickets. If you got 100,000, you'll do 10. Like, that's how much you have to work in terms of the audience. And that, if you work to that, you'll be all right. And if you can get that stat from 13% to 25% loyal fans, you're going to be making a lot of money because each of them will buy a ticket and a T-shirt. So just think about it. It's simple maths. Quick maths.
Well, yeah, that's it. That was I enjoyed that. We need to do that again.
Phil.
Oh, awesome.
I didn't really enjoy you being sat there. To be honest,
I think you did.
I don't think that worked. We'll cut that. Jimmy's agreeing. Yeah, he's getting booed. So yeah, thank you, Phil.
That's all right.
You got me a beer.
There's some real wisdom. Thank you, Aki.
You're welcome, Gav. Anytime, mate.
Didn't give out one yellow card either.
It's been a pleasure.
Not one yellow card, so good reffing for Mac. This is the FooRcast. We'll be back again soon. If there's any, we're going to get Phil back. As you see, Phil's full of wisdom. If there's any questions you'd like to ask Phil or anything you've heard on, put it in the comments. Subscribe and all that stuff. See you soon. What up?